in the markets. XRP. We're going to have a future broadcast. USDT M perpetuals. Let's hide this. Let's hide that. And let's check with XRP prices if I'm correct. So XRP prices have been absolutely insane right now. They've been growing a bit from 2.16, but I did make a chart on 2bit. Use the link description below if you guys want a free bonus. I've been talking at exactly what's going on with XRP. So I will just explain again for anyone that missed last time what happened with XRP. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart over here. So this is the 4-hour chart, right? It is kind of wonky. It's going downtrend. But if we check over here, XRP does seem to be going up. Like it has found a bottom of 182 as I told you guys. Now, if you look on a one-day chart, what does that tell you? The 182 is literally very close to the first pump cycle around here. So this was the first resistance level. So I told you guys here is where the resistance is. Bam, 182, somewhere around this range. And we're seeing that just again now. Here, 182, right? So what this tells you is there's a wave of holders at the 182 support level. So it's pretty obvious that XRP right now, at least in the short term, will go slightly up. And that's exactly what I predicted. I said we could be going towards a downtrend, or that could be an uptrend if everything goes smoothly. Now, that's exactly what happened. You know, we hit 1.87 and XRP went immediately back up, which is really good news if you ask me. Because, again, we're not at 366, but a lot of whales will sell at that level. So that's the problem. You can have 366, but the whales are going to be selling, you know, down to 1.84. They can take profits. Even if it's 50% less, they will still take profits. So it's not a big problem for them to just buy at $1 or $1.86. But suddenly what happened, as I told you guys in the analysis, at 186, if we look at the 4-hour chart, it simply bounced off. And you can see a huge whale buy over here. So let me point it out for you. There's a huge whale buying XRP. And again, guys, you could use these tools on 2bit. 2bit has been very kind to me lately, and I've been using it for the charts. So link in the description below for a free bonus competition. But you can see a big whale has, in fact, bought a very large portion of XRP. So it does confirm that at least we're entering a slight bull run because, look, a big whale sold over here on 13th of November. Kind of makes you think, right? What's next for XRP? And this is the really big problem I'm having here. A big whale sold at what it is, 2.8, 2.34. So this is going to be the big problem because if a big whale sold here at 2.8, so let me just type it in, 2.8. Gosh, this is terrible, but don't quote me on this. $2.8 is going to be the level where it's going to be harder to retest and go push out further. So we are going to be opening some trades on XRP, and I'm suddenly slightly longish for XRP for a very simple reason, like at least for the short term today. And that is because XRP right now has been hitting higher highs. What higher highs basically mean is XRP has now advanced towards a new stage where it's not going to be 186 anymore because the new level is going to be about $2.1. It rose very fast at that matter. So just let that sink in. So something I'm very excited about, guys. What do you guys think will personally happen? Let me know in the comments below as well. So pretty clear idea is that XRP right now is at least short-term bullish, long-term bearish. Because we don't know what's going to happen next. Let me open up a chart over here. Open a small trade over here. So this is how you can buy XRP. So simply sign down in 2bit below. And you could use the free bonus I have in the description. And then you first check the prices, right? So if you want to open a short or a long, you just have to buy long or sell short over here after you sign in and deposit. So I'm thinking right now, because I did the technical analysis, the bottom is 1.86. The new high could be 1.86. basically 2.10. It could be go a bit further. It's 220 already, or it could hit a new low. And that's something I'm considering. I'm also going to be using stop loss basically. As you can see, a big whale bought here. This is on the 5-minute chart, right? And then we see a downtrend, sort of like the whale that got a few hits above like $2.2. He's now going to sell it even if it rises a cent. He's going to sell everything. He's going to sell all his crypto basically. And that's exactly what he did. So I feel like a long here, but just a small one would be absolutely amazing. I'm going to actually have a stop loss. Always take a stop loss, because if you don't take a stop loss, you can wake up and basically lose all your portfolio. Just I'm going to short it over here. So TP trigger price should be lower than last price. That's why you want to open the mark. Again, here we have stop and loss short. So let me just sell a short, open a short. Then it's going to ask you for price protection, liquidation price. When it hits 2.63, it's going to drop, right? So I don't think it's going to go above 263 because that's the problem here right now. But it is rising up. We could be seeing another rally. This is what I'm concerned about. And you can also have price protection. I just want to open a short, like a $150 short. So that's what I'm going to do on XRP. And that's what I'm saying, you know, at least tomorrow, until tomorrow, that's exactly what's going to happen. And now we will wait and see, right? So we go to open orders over here on 2-bit. And XRP is now, I already made a penny, see? And I already lost half a penny. And oh gosh, this is not looking well because XRP keeps going up. But if we zoom out on the XRP chart, as I told you guys, this is my price prediction. 2.5, 2.32. These are the numbers that are really gonna, you know, really stop XRP going for another rally. I don't think it will go to 260 or what we have here, 270, and then it will suddenly stop. That's what I think will happen. You know, because if we get to 270, basically all these big whales will say, hey, it's 270. We bought it all this time during the dip. Let's sell it now. And you can see I already made 17 cents profit, which is absolutely amazing. This is a big trade, 20 cents profit, because I opened it correctly. But on the long term, you don't know. You know, I'm actually expecting an uptrend for XRP. So that's something I'm slightly worried about will happen. Would be nice if it went a bit lower though. So we'll just wait now and see. We're 15 cents in unrealized profit loss to 17 cents. I'd rather show you, this is like a future bonus. If you guys want, you can use the link in the description below. I think they have like a rewards voucher here or a weekend run. That's something I'm going to check. But pretty clear idea of what's happening right now is XRP is slowly but surely rising to the top. So we're 0.5% up, but we forgot to add a stop loss, which you need to take, guys. If you don't take a stop loss, it's like, you know, kind of putting your money on the street and hoping nothing happens. So once it's going to be hit $1.5, it's going to close. I'm a bit more risky, so I take a stop loss of 1.5. But some people are fine with taking less than that. I mean, I want to take my $1.5 of profit. The strategy order will not be triggered. Sure, enable it. This doesn't really matter. So now we open a trade and now we wait. And you can see if you check on the 1-minute chart, don't be too afraid. Because if you keep checking XRP prices, right? Keep checking XRP prices. You're always gonna be looking for the next, you know, drop, the next dip. It's gonna mess with your health. But when you zoom out and check, okay, this is 1 hour, exactly what I'm showing you guys here. You zoom out on the 1 hour, we are hitting a downtrend. So let me check over here. See, it's a downtrend. And I feel like this is going to be the big problem that destroys a lot of traders. They don't see what's happening with XRP prices. You got to ask yourself, why are the whales selling? So the whales and the fish, They are selling for a very simple reason. Because there's not enough buyers. Look, there's not enough buyers here. There's not enough buyers at 3.66. And there's not enough buyers at 2.8. So right now, what traders are doing with XRP, so guys, this is an XRP update. What traders are doing with XRP is they're trying to push out from 1.86, they're trying to push out for another rally. And I think this rally is now going towards an uptrend. So it would be good if I actually stop my position over here. Because now you can see I'm in the red. If you look at my pattern over here, it already formed the bottom of the first resistance. It failed the first resistance. So I said it basically incorrectly. We should be going shortly up. Maybe not $5 overnight up. But December and November are usually the times of the year that crypto goes up, right? So just let that sink in. Again, if you have stop loss, that's absolutely perfect. Because if you have stop loss, you don't have to be liquidated. And the big issue is a lot of people are so used to trading with stupid amounts of money and losing everything. Just buy and forget. Buy at the right price and forget. It's that simple. Instead of always wondering, hey, are we going up or are we going down? So I think that's a pretty clear idea of what's happening right now. Should be good. Let me just check over here. So XRP forming new highs. As you can see, I was wrong with my prediction that it's going to go down, because luckily this is just like, you know, a momentum. But if it's breaking this pattern, I'm happy enough. I'd rather take a 30% hit and then go from there. So actually this was there's no bonuses, so I closed that bonus. I guess it gives like it closes after 24 hours, which is something I didn't consider. But the most important factor is now we're reaching upward momentum. So upward momentum over here. I'll just show you guys the pattern and what happened in the previous time. Back. I feel like when you see crypto markets bouncing back, like every single 5 years, it really starts to get on your nerves. For example, we always saw crypto markets going up and forth and left and right. It really didn't make any sense. So again, if you guys want to get started on 2-bit, deposit trading are up to 6,430 deposit, you know, and get XRP. Use the link in the description below. But with that ad over, let's talk about XRP 2.21. Like, looks nice, but is it? We're seeing all of these bounces only to see another further 30 cents down in a single day.
So we've got a Thanksgiving Day bounce. Actually, it started yesterday. Bitcoin, very, looking good. Very much up over 90,000, 91,000, up 4%. Ethereum up over 3,000. XRP climbing a little bit. BNB, Solana up 2 and almost 3% plus respectively. On the 24-hour, here's your top winners in the clubhouse. Caspa, Ether5, Flare, Sky. You can see kind of up 15%. And on the other side of the coin, Zcash down 1%. A meme coin down 1%.
I mean, 30% down. That's gonna hurt though. 30%.
There, KuCoin. So not a lot of downside risk. So looking pretty good as far as kind of the major alts all moving up nicely, as you can see. And I think we've got some things running in our favor. We've got quantitative tightening ending on December 1. On December 10th, we're going to get the Federal Reserve decision. And right now we are.
The quantitative tightening is what's really going to help altcoins. I feel like retail investors are just not into XRP. Who's buying XRP right now is institutions. Those are the ones really buying.
Sitting at an 84% chance that we are going to get a Federal Reserve interest rate reduction, most likely a quarter basis point, 0.25 on that. And that's what the market is now expecting. Now, if that does not happen, then it is going to turn red in the markets pretty significantly, so again, just kind of making you aware of what we're seeing here and kind of what was playing out. It's good to see Bitcoin moving up. In fact, on the 24-hour at 91.2, 91.5.
This is what I like to see. It's just that one bear market, one bad cycle can destroy everything we built so far for XRP.
Right now at the top, that is pretty close to the high for the 24-hour. You can see that on of 91,000, basically 91.9. But the calls and the expectation is that we're going to see really kind of beginning in December this bull run starting. Okay, and it looks like
if it can hold above 100,000, we could be seeing another bull run. Yes,
83,000 for Bitcoin was our bottom for the market. As it bottomed out, and like $1.83 for XRP. We saw Ethereum drop below 3,000. All of that, and it looks like that might have been our bottom. And kind of looks like we're seeing some good things. So remember, December 1, quantitative tightening from the Federal Reserve ends. That's going to be when the money printers essentially turn back on. We're going to see liquidity start to be injected back into the financial markets and a lot of other things, which ultimately will help the lowering of interest rates for people who are buying cars and homes and putting things on credit, things of that nature. And again, the money printers essentially turn back on, which is good for the economy.
This is like, which we should be seeing a huge rally in November, December, but we're unfortunately not seeing at all.
In fact, I kind of wanted to check this out. So I've got a new indicator that we layered on top of X1 Algo, my indicator suite, and it's called the X1 DCA accumulator. You can see there's the name of it right there. And you can see that it's
So yeah, extreme discount. I mean, yes, until it goes further down. This is the thing with algorithms. I love them. I'm not too sure if they work in the bear market, but if this is correct, we did see it pump up a bit. If you guys want, check out 2bit and start trading today. I'll keep you guys updated with more content on 2bit. If you guys don't know, I made a price prediction for XRP pretty much, and that's something that I will be explaining in another video I will post, so smash that like button.
Fast for XRP, there are also some regulatory advantages.
And guys, talking about exchanges, use the link in the description below for a free bonus. I'll show you guys what I meant.
Announcements for RLUSD that could shape exactly how global payments are now going to operate through Ripple. Whether it's Japan, the UK, and many others, this is all starting to build up to a very positive move for the markets and XRP. With Kevin Hassett driving cryptocurrency up, this is a moment to, well, take stock and look exactly at what's going on with Ripple and XRP. Or simply watch this video to the end. We're going to talk macroeconomics, we're talking adoption, and more important.
I mean, ETFs are cool, right, for XRP, but I'm worried about the long-term plan for XRP. Are we going to see XRP go up or down? Because, these ETFs should obviously pump the price, but already some ETFs were listed and the price went down. So the trading volume clearly wasn't enough, but we do have the support of Asia at this point.
In Q1 of 2026. Now, this broadens the horizon for RLUSD getting into more global markets, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, certainly sets the scene for that global payment system. At the heart, Ripple and RLUSD. And that's not all. In fact, Matt Osborne, now Matt Osborne is the policy director for the UK and Europe at Ripple. He talked about RLUSD basically being allowed to use in overseas, specifically the UK market. On the day that we got the budget announcement, which, hey, it is what it is, the UK now is going to allow regulation to become a global leader in stablecoin transactions.
Now, XRP is going to be the first one here. This is what I like to see. XRP actually coming ahead and saying, hey, we want to be first with Ripple LUSD, even if it's not making any money right now. Overall, stablecoins and transaction fees is something that crypto hasn't hit yet, and something that crypto could really go further ahead.
The fact is that this is going to support growth, friendly rules, and allow overseeing stablecoins such as RLUSD to be used locally. I'll leave the link to this video so you guys can go and check it out. But this is good news, and it certainly is good news for the advancement of RLUSD. So Back to XRP. What's going on? The market feels optimistic with the Kevin Hassett pump that we've been talking about, the potential new Fed chair. If you haven't watched my Bitcoin video that came out earlier, I highly recommend checking that out. So on a higher time frame here, we're looking at a more bullish view as well as the bear market.
This is a thing with XRP. Like right now, it's slightly more bullish, and in terms of we haven't hit a bear market yet.
Or not. Well, XRP has some strong liquidity. Upside momentum could be coming very soon. And if the market makers have every opportunity they've got, XRP could be well above $3 before we even know it. Now, it can't just make accusations like that and say, hey, trust me, bro, XRP is going to $3. Well, what's going on? G Treasury, which many of you will know was the latest acquisition by Ripple, released their Understanding the Building Blocks report today. Specifically, what is it?
Again, this is in super early stages. This is why this is not impacting the price, because this is literally just a few, maybe weeks or months in, while these things probably take 5-10 years to build.
The infrastructure layer when it comes to blockchain, or when we talk about real world treasury impacts from working capital optimization, after hours capability, reconciliation, efficiency, and much, much more. And that directly links back to their stablecoin view, fiat collateralized as well as crypto collateralized, and algorithm, the fact that using smart contracts to manage supply and demand. Now, which blockchain affords all of that to happen on it? That's right, XRPL. And actually, when you talk about G Treasury and how they're going to use stablecoin combining with the efficiency of blockchain, guess what they talk about? Cross-border payments, 24/7 settlements, reduced FX exposure, and low transactional costs. Yeah, again.
I mean, just the point of them going more into stablecoins. Again, stablecoins have been an under-tapped market in crypto. What we had is USDT, but we have the very basics of it. People are using stablecoins for payments nowadays through a crypto card. So imagine Ripple wants to be there first.
All be delivered on XRPL. The fact here is that, well, G Treasury have gone pretty big, and they've gone big on their biggest partner, which is obviously XRP. So this is a pretty exciting thing. And I think
they had like a lot of partnerships, didn't they? Like the last few months, they had many partnerships.
We're going to see way more of this build out when they talk about working capital, trap liquidity optimization, digital asset solutions, and evaluating readiness versus risk. It all seems to align to exactly what Ripple have been building for the last 18 months. When you've got Hidden Road, you've got G Treasury, you've got all of the documents and parts.
So they're basically building for the next 5-10 years. I think they're getting away from crypto. Like at first, XRP was just a crypto company, but now it's becoming something next level.
That you need to make sure that you have a fully functioning, regulated cryptocurrency bank. And we know that, well, Ripple is setting out to dethrone JP Morgan, or certainly the Tukrium CEO believes that. He said this: XRP is a modern JP Morgan rival. And it's kind of interesting that JP Morgan seem to be doubling down once again on the crypto markets, launching bond-backed Bitcoin ETFs and much, much more. This is a very interesting statement made, and, well, probably tells you what's coming. And as the surge of ETFs continue to hit the markets for ETFs, free XRP, well, 21 Shares just announced they will be launching on Friday. And I think what's really positive to note here is the volume is consistently now being driven well for XRP. With $43 million in the last 24 hours, yes, it's down, but only...
I mean, XRP ETFs, remember when we talked about 1 billion? So I'm kind of disappointed with XRP ETFs, honestly. I was hoping XRP ETFs would do more, but 43 million, as long as we get BlackRock, there's still no BlackRock, Bitwise, Grayscale. Grayscale brought almost no volume, as you can see here. Franklin Templeton. I mean, most people don't use these to buy XRP. They would use BlackRock.
Marginal, about 5% decline on the day before. And we're probably going to see this settle out anywhere between around $35 and $40 million every single day. Now, once more treasuries and ETFs come on board, this could push prices higher, could push the fact of XRP reducing in supply. And, well, the more and more ETFs, the more exposure we're going to get. Could be bullish, and I certainly think we're going to see a little bit more of that. And this is why we're in a world of saying XRP could be on a breakout, printing the same bullish divergence we saw back in 2022's bear market. Could this be aligned to G Treasury's idea, and like we said right at the very start, the liquidity push that XRP could be at $3 before we know it? Again, if you watch my Bitcoin video, I talked about the fact that we could get this relief rally. $98,000 is what we're looking for Bitcoin.
$98,000. I mean, that would be really nice for crypto overall. Like, we're just waiting for Bitcoin at this point. We're waiting for Bitcoin to go ahead and give us the green light. And we still haven't saw that for Bitcoin. So I'm kind of worried for XRP because these volumes, they were the thing that should really save crypto, right? That should really save XRP. So I'm still thinking where we go from here. Guys, if you also want a free bonus, use 2bit. So you can trade XRP here. I actually partner up with them, which is pretty exciting updates. And you can trade XRP there. So here you can get free rewards and smash that like button as well. So that's another thing that we have right now. You can just, why would people buy ETFs if they can just buy it on exchanges like this, right? So they can buy it on exchanges, they can trade it on exchanges, and people have been used to do that for many years. So there's no reason for them to do it.
With the continuation of ETFs coming thick and fast for X,
it just makes me think where we go from here. Let's see here. Happy Thanksgiving. Crypto markets bounce